Hey fellas, it's me Scotty from Just Gaming Fellas, and today I'm not doing a video game. I know we're called Just Gaming Fellas, but I can do what the fuck I like because it's my channel. So yeah, I'm going to cook some Lembas bread today because I want to start making shit from films and video games and stuff like that that's cool to make and bake if you want to do it at home. I'll try and make it like me COD guides, clear as possible. So yeah, today I'm going to make some Lembas bread from Lord of the Rings, the best film ever. And I'm going to try and make my cooking show kind of a bit different to all the different ones you see, you know, Jamie Oliver, Mary Berry. So yeah, what do you need, fellas? You need some of this white shit, you need a bit of milk. You also need some cocaine, also known as plain flour. Also, you need some cinnamon, also known as cinnamon. From your local shop, £2 local shop. Also, you need some Madagascan vanilla extract. Basically whiskey. Some baking powder, brown sugar. This is fucking rock solid, is this. Gotta say that. Bit of salt. Clover. Some of this shit that took me ages to find in the shop. Maple syrup, Clark's original. Love Clark. And then also some pure clear honey. And if you're feeling, you want to treat yourself, some Jack Daniels whiskey. Right, so before you start, fellas, you want to turn on your oven. And whack it on here. What we're going to do, we're going to put it on that one. 220 degrees, is it? Just around 200 there, fellas, degrees. Want it piping hot. So before you start this one, fellas, you want to get a cup because my scales are broke. Ha! But it is in the, I've got it right out here, the ingredients and the recipe and shit, and it's all done in cups. It must be American. So firstly, I want 2.5 cups of flour. So if you use the same cup, it's all going to be fine. We'll get this spoon, put into cocaine shit. So, 2.5 cups. So that is 1 cup, fellas. Whack it in the bowl. There we go. So there is another cup of flour there. Fuck me, that's a lot. And then we're just going to go for the 1/2 cup now. 1/2 cup. There we go, that's the flour boss. That's so much flour. Is that right? I don't fucking know. We'll just see how it goes. Oh, I'm dropping fucking cocaine everywhere. So now, fellas, you want your baking powder, and if you want to use a cup, you can, but I'm going to use a tablespoon. So you want 1 tablespoon of baking powder. We'll whack that in there. And then you want 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So you don't really give a shit. You can never really taste it, can you, the salt? But if you're salty, have that. Oh, completely missed it then. What a fucker. So now you've got your bowl of baking powder, salt, and a bit of fucking flour. You want to stir that in. Stir that in nicely, make sure it all mixed together. Just something like that, really. I hope this is better than you ever got taught in, you know, secondary school or anything like that. The only thing I ever got taught was how to take the piss out of the cooking teacher because she looked like a badger. Fucking harsh people are fucking secondary school kids, aren't they, really? But it's just how it goes, isn't it? So now get a tablespoon, fellas, and you want to get quite a lot of butter. This, it's basically 8 tablespoons of butter. Something like that'll fucking do. There you go. It's going to use quite a lot of butter as this. But it's worth it because you're making Lembas bread, so fuck it. Lovely. Whack that fucking bin. You got your flour, baking powder, salt, a bit of butter. Just a bit of butter. And you just want to just do that now. Like you're doing the $sign. There you go. So just mix it all in. It's going to be fucking grim, but it's worth it. So yeah, I might also show you dishes. I was thinking of, like, you know, from Call of Duty Zombies, just those perks that you drink, like Juggernog and stuff like that. Could just try and make a few of them, you know, get some J2O glasses and stuff like that. Smash a few of them in. Could do that. If you've got any suggestions, fellas, just tell me. Comment and I'll try and make some cool stuff from films or video games or TV shows. You know, I don't know if it's out from Walking Dead or Game of Thrones. Some sort of popular dish. Well, there is Harry Potter, but half that's been done, you know, all Bertie Bott's flavour beans and shit. I might even show you my favourite thing to make. The only thing I bake is things that give you heart attacks, like Oreo truffles, they're decent. So basically what this is making, fellas, is like a nice dough. Then you can cut out the shapes of the Lembas bread. Bit different to cookies is the taste. It's got cinnamon and honey and shit in. I've made them before, but I made them too big and they were huge. But hopefully these are better. I don't call myself an expert at this kind of shit, fellas. I like to research what a tablespoon was. But It's cool. You can do anything you like. And it's fun. That's what I think about my channel right now. You know, I've got some sketches, do a bit of guides. Fucking cooking, I'm cooking, fellas. Do what the fuck you like. So that's pretty much there. The flour's all been mixed in with the butter. It's like you've teared apart a loaf of bread. So now you've got that ready there, fellas. You want to move on to the next bit, which is some sugar. Some brown sugar. It took me about half an hour in Morrison's to find this shit. And what you want is that same cup you used the flour in, and you want about 1/3 of a cup, so it's a bit more than 1/4. So we'll whack that in there. Oh, that shit's weird. It's basically like soil. This shit is grim. What's this stuff? Dark brown, soft, natural, undefined cane sugar. Yeah. Have a bit of that. Ooh. There we go, that'll do. Just more than 1/4. Oh my god. It smells like horse food. Also, where's my tablespoon gone? There it is. Right, you want your cinnamon. Made from ground, actually. It says ground. Made from the ground. And all you want is a tablespoon of this shit. This is impossible to get on your spoon. I don't want a lot of cinnamon though. It tastes weird. Oh, fucking hell. Done that. So you add your cinnamon. Oh, and your sugar. Ah, look at that shit. Anyway. So now you get another spoon. Buttery spoon will fucking do. You want to just mix that up there, fellas. Oh yeah, look at that. Lembas bread. What is it? Lembas bread. One bite can fill a man's belly for how long? Or it just keeps him not starving. Something like that. I can't remember the quote. Damn it, that's embarrassing. I'm fucking huge Lord of the Rings fan. Fills a man for a day, maybe. That's it. Yeah. I remember it in the extended edition of Lord of the Rings, in the first one where they're at Lothlorien with Gadriel, and she's giving them all presents, and they give Pippin and Merry some Lembas bread. Legolas says the thing, you know, it can make a person full for a day or some shit. Then Merry asks Pippin, how much did you have? And he says about 3 fucking rolls of it or something. Oh, fuck off. So it's just some Merry and Pippin banter. Better than Bant and Deck, really. And if you've got sugar like man, fellas, it's lumpy as fuck and it's like soil. Just do that. Crumble it together. You know. It's a bit grim, that shit. But it works. Should have sieved it. Should have sieved it, lad. So now we've done that, fellas. We're on to the milk now. And you want 2/3 cup of milk. Use that same cup again. 2/3 of a cup. I had to research this and ask people, because maths is not my strong point. And who gives a shit about maths, really? But 2/3 of a cup. Just more than half, really. There we go. Just more than half. That'll do. So now get your tablespoon again. You want your vanilla extract from Madagascar. Okay, now that's on tight. You just want a teaspoon of that. There you go. Just checking the recipe here, fellas. Do you put any whiskey in? No. No, there's nothing of the sort of whiskey on there. Oops. You can either use any of these. You can use maple syrup or honey. I think I might use a bit of pure clear honey. I don't know what maple syrup fucking tastes like. But you just want just a little bit on your teaspoon. Just like maybe half or 1/4 of it. It's going to be tough to get off, but something like that'll do. You can maybe just do that, get the rest off. So now we'll just stir the vanilla and the honey in. There we go, that's that done. And now your milk. So we're now making the dough now, fellas. Put about half of the cup in you've got there. So leave a bit in the bottom. And if you've got too much milk, you can always add a bit of flour, but we'll just add a bit of milk first. You just want to stir all that in. Who would have thought that I'd be doing a fucking cooking guide on Lembas bread when I first started just gaming, fellas? I'd have fucking loved it. I'd have gone, yeah, I'm all for that shit. Oh, look at this. Looking nice. Get all the shit from the sides. Get me on Bake Off, fellas. Look at that. It's a bit wet, is it, actually? Lol. Well, fellas, if it's a bit too wet, get a bit of flour and just sprinkle a bit in. That'll solid it up a bit. There we go. You can just keep adding a bit of flour at a time and it'll eventually get to a dough. I think once when I was in my cooking class, I remember back in like year 8 or something, one of, you know, your classic lads in your class who don't give a shit about life and school. I remember him making dough and he actually, I think he maybe cut it in half or something and then lobbed it at someone. But again, that's another example of how much of a dick school students can be. And especially in the UK, fellas, there's like about year 7, 8 and 9. When you first get into secondary school, you're fucking scared. By the end of year 7, you've got used to it. Year 8 and year 9, you start to get into it, and there's those kids who just think they fucking rule the world and start telling teachers to F off and all this kind of stuff, and they think they're hard. I don't know if that's the same in America. I think Americans are just more jolly, I think. And us UK people are just miserable as fuck. I've mixed all of it in. Don't matter if there's a little bit of shit left at the bottom there, but if it's a bit wet, that's alright, because we're going to add some flour to the table and start mixing that dough out now. So what you want to do is get your flour, sprinkle it onto the table there. Do that with it. There we go. Look at that, looking fucking mint. Now get your massive bit of dough, whack it on the table. You can start, is it kneading it or kneading it? I don't fucking know. But just start bringing the sides in. Like the mountain from Game of Thrones, and this is Oberyn's head. Just do that. No, I'm joking. That's still a bit too thick, is that shit. But I just don't want to make them too thick, because I made them and the rows like double the size in the middle. And they don't look like that in the show. I want them to be perfect there, fellas. Perfect. So yeah, I'm going to go for it and say the thickness of your iPhone. Something like that. Maybe with the case on or without. Don't know. But something like that'll do. Yeah, so now get yourself a baking tray and just whack a bit of flour on there. Just so they don't stick and shit. And in the show, they're more like triangles, aren't they? So I might go for some triangles. So how big, you can have them how big you like. I'm hopefully just going to go for a decent size. So they're looking perfect to the sizes of these. In a triangle. Look at those triangles there, fellas. Fucking beautiful. So you've got yourself a nice triangle size bit of Lembas bread there. There you go. About that size will do it. If you want to make some triangles. A rectangle or a square, maybe more of a square. We'll make those as squares. They'll do. Who's my favourite character in the whole Lord of the Rings? Legolas, of course. I think Sam's second for me. I love Gollum, he's fucking class. But Sam, Legolas, Gollum. You never really like the lead characters in films or TV shows. Like, I'm not a big fan of Rick from The Walking Dead. You know, I like Daryl better. Who else is there? The 100. I don't like Clark, who's the main character from The 100. I like the side ones. Octavia, another badass. Game of Thrones. Not really. I love Jon Snow and Samwell Tarly. They're fucking class of those two. Who else is there? What one shows? Harry Potter. I'm not a big fan of fucking Harry Potter. The the lead character, Harry Potter. I like Neville Longbottom. He's more my character, him. Who else is there? What other show is there? Pirates of the Caribbean, I thought. Jack Sparrow. The only exception is Jack Sparrow. I've got a bit of dough left. I might try and make something funny. What can we make funny? We can make the one ring. We can make the one ring. Right, how thick is the one ring? We're gonna make it big. It's gonna fit around my head. It's gonna be a choker. That's that bit. Look at me go, making the one ring. It's fucking weird that you might see someone like that in Ann Summers. Okay. To make the actual Lembas bread, they have like lines down the middle. So what you want to do is get your knife and almost just like put a little engravement of a cross just in these. There we go. And for the triangles, I've actually, what can I do for that? The triangles, you could just like do almost like a leaf. Yeah, I could do that. For the one ring, Elvish words are not going to be able to put on that, it's too fucking soft. So there we go. So as we said, we're on 220 degrees. Move me fucking seat. And you don't want to burn these fellas. You want to keep an eye on them at all times. Whack them in there. There we go. Hopefully the one ring cooks very nicely. So hopefully don't destroy it from the heat. And then you want to be cooking them for about 10 minutes, fellas. Look after 10 minutes, or just keep watching them so they don't burn. And you want them crispy on the top, like a bronze colour, and like a nice creamy clear in the middle, but you want it to be cooked. So don't have just dough in the middle, lol. I'll check when that's in 7 minutes. But now, you know what the lembas bread actually looks like, the actual, you know, the shapes and all that. But in the show, it's covered by like a green leaf. You know, it's made by the elves and shit. And then I put a bit of leaf and a bit of string around it. As you see, Sam, when they're sat on that rock at the start of the two towers, you know, picks it out. Lembas bread, more lembas bread. It's a nice leaf, innit? Nice leaf in a string. So this is the only kind of green shit I could find. It's crepe paper from your local shop, W.H. Smith, something like that. And it's been sat in my recording area for like 2 years because we're going to do it. But it's the only thing that I can maybe think of that would look like a leaf. Only if you got a leaf, you know those ones that when you get stung by a nettle, you could use that. But this'll do. I've also got a black Sharpie to engrave it with leaf markings on. Nerdy, but it'll work. And then a bit of string from Morrison's string, 40 metres. So it's been about 10 minutes, that is, fellas, and they're looking pretty like bronze on the side, a bit on top now. So I think if I don't want to burn them, I'm going to take them out now. So, oh, fucking hell, it's hot. Jesus Christ. What do they feel like? They're nice and spongy. I like the feel of them. We'll use a shitty one so far. There we go. That one will do. So, I'm just going to kneel down here because my chair's fucked off. Well, it tastes like... think of like a shortbread slash biscuit slash cookie with a hint of cinnamon in. And you can taste that honey. Right, so now we'll get on to making the outer layers of it. Whoa! Fucking hell! So the lines on the leaf, I want to make it to look like that. Try a little practice in there. So we'll get crepe paper from your local shop. Leave a bit of extra here. Will that go over? Hey, it's actually looking alright, that. Lembas bread. Lembas bread. So now we can hope the permanent marker doesn't go onto the lembas bread. That'll be shit, won't it? Here we go, that goes in there. That goes across there. The potty end is there and the triangle's like that. So you want to put the string, make sure you've got some to tie it on with. So now we can tie that up there, fellas. There we go. Oh, come on. There we go. We've got our very own lembas bread. Look at it. Oh, it absolutely looks fucking mint, does that? You can see it there, fellas. Looks exactly like on the show. You got your string, you got your leaf round it, and you got your little bit of shortbread lembas bread in there. So, there you go. I've not done them all, because there's like fucking 20,000 bit of lembas bread and one ring. But, there it is, fellas. I'll show you the ring, actually. It's quite, it's very weird. It's got lines down it somehow. I didn't do that, but maybe that's some really, cracky fucking elvish word there. But, the one ring is there. The lembas bread is looking awesome. I've not overcooked it, which is perfect. And there it is, fellas. Lembas bread in its nice little... Look at that. I'm so proud of that. I really am. It's all there for you there, fellas. Lembas bread, thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Comment if you want to see me make some more shit from films and video games or any cool cakes or anything. It'd be cool to make, you know. Thanks for watching. And fuck you, Merryberry.